It's almost Christmas, and if you're looking for a pre-built PC for this holiday season, there are actually some pretty good deals in the market right now. So if you want to buy a new gaming PC, maybe from Amazon or other companies, and you want the best gaming experience for the price, you came to the right video. I will show you the estimated performance for each of these systems, and I will cover every budget and every resolution: 1080p, 1440p and 4K. All the links to these PCs plus bonus systems will be in the video description. And if you've been watching the channel, you know I've been making these videos a lot, and that's because the deals are changing every single day basically, and maybe when you're watching this video some of these deals are over or they are out of stock. But lucky for you, I will be updating the description as well for Christmas. So with that being said, let's start. With the first system we have the Nebula PC from Amazon. This one has the i5-13400F alongside the RTX 4060 with 1TB of NVMe SSD and 16 gigs of DDR4 memory. This PC is $850, and before I say anything about the performance of this one, I want to say that if you have a lower budget, let's say you have around $600 to spend, you have bonus PCs in the description as I said before. Anyway, this Nebula system with the 4060 is ideal for 1080p high to ultra settings, 90 plus FPS on average with no issues. The RTX 4060 is also a 1440p capable GPU, and you will be able to play at 60 plus FPS on average, high to ultra settings most titles, and then if you turn on the LSS, which is the upscaler, you will get basically free performance. So whether you want a 1080p high FPS experience or you want to start playing at 1440p and you do not want to go over $1,000, I think this system is the best one in terms of price to performance. And if you want to play easier to run titles, for example Fortnite or Valorant, you will be able to achieve over 240 FPS on average, depending on the settings and the resolution. Anyway, for $850 this is an amazing deal, but I want you to know that this arrives after Christmas. However, I think it's worth the wait because of how good this deal is. Anyway, with the next one we have the Victus 15L. This one is $930, so really similar in terms of pricing as the Nebula one. Here you get the RTX 3060, which is slightly slower than the 4060, but you get more VRAM. Then you get 16 gigs of RAM, 1TB of hard drive, 500 gigs of SSD, so plenty of storage. And the reason why I like this one is because it has the i7-12700. This is a much better system than the last one for creators, so if you are planning on doing content creation and gaming on the side, I think this PC is your best option for under $1,000. And then with the 3060 you get really similar performance to the 4060, so 60 plus FPS on average at 1440p, 80 plus FPS on average at 1080p, high to ultra settings, but here you get more VRAM. Then for a more expensive system we have the Nebula once again, but this time is the more expensive option, and this one arrives before Christmas by the way. It's $1,400 after you apply the $100 coupon, which is as easy as checking the box, that's literally it. And for the components you get the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X for the CPU and the RTX 4070 for the GPU. The RTX 4070 is a 1440p GPU and it's going to destroy that RTX 4060 and RTX 3060. It's going to be about 55% faster in terms of gaming performance, and in fact on a 15 game average on high to ultra settings at 1080p, while the RTX 4060 was able to average 90 FPS, the RTX 4070 scored an average of 143 FPS, that's a 50 FPS difference. And then at 1440p on that same test, the RTX 4060 was able to average just over 60 FPS, while the RTX 4070 over 100. As you can see, this is a big difference, especially if you want to play at 1440p resolution and you want a high refresh rate monitor, for example a 240Hz one, or you just want a better experience on the highest demanding titles, for example Cyberpunk 2077 on the ultra preset at 1440p. And honestly, for the price of $1,300, I don't think you can find any better on the market right now. Then we have a more expensive system for about $2,000, so if you have around this budget, I do recommend you getting the Omen 40L. It's on a $550 discount right now, and you get the i7-13700K, which is an amazing CPU. And then for the GPU you get the RTX 4070 Ti, which is actually the current GPU I have on my system. The 4070 Ti is great for 1440p ultra settings, and you can also play at 4K high settings with no issues, 60 plus FPS on average in most titles. And if you turn on the LSS, which is the upscaler, at 4K, you will be able to achieve even more than 80 FPS in most games, depending on the settings. Anyway, I tested this Omen 40L myself with the RTX 4070 instead. You will have my review in the top right of the screen, and you can expect even better performance than that. But let me tell you, at 1440p, this one is going to be a beast, and this is the limit in my opinion for this resolution. If you want to play at 4K, then sure, you're gonna spend more money, but if you're going to play at 1440p, I think this one is the limit, and if you have more money, I recommend you either saving the extra money or getting a better system, but then upgrading to 4K down the line. Because, for example, the next system is $2,350, so around $350 more expensive, and you get the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX for the GPU, which is a 4K GPU. The 7900 XTX is about 23% faster than the 4070 Ti, but the most important difference is the VRAM. Here you get 24 gigs of VRAM compared to the 12 gigs of VRAM from the 4070 Ti, and this is going to be helpful especially at 4K resolution because some games already require more than 12 gigs of VRAM at the highest resolution. And for you to have an idea of the difference between the 4070 Ti and the 7900 XTX, on a 60Hz average at 4K resolution, the 7900 XTX was able to average 113 FPS, while the RTX 3090, which has similar performance to the RTX 4070 Ti in gaming, got an average of 82 FPS, which is a really nice number for 4K resolution, but is not as good as 113 FPS. And then at 1440p, the 7900 XTX was able to average over 180 FPS, so really good for high FPS gaming at 1440p, but I do believe that it's an overkill since you don't need this many frames in most games, you just need them on the easier to run titles, and for those type of games, you can get away with a much cheaper system, even at 4K resolution. And then if you just want the best of the best, you have the gaming Azure PC from Amazon with the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is the fastest CPU on the market, and the RTX 4090. This is the fastest GPU-CPU combo in the market right now, and then you get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, and a 1000W 80 plus volt power supply, alongside a 360 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is not going to be necessary for the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. It's actually an overkill, but it is an amazing cooler where you can actually upgrade your CPU down the line to a more power hungry one, and you will have no issues in terms of CPU temps. Now the RTX 4090 is the fastest gaming GPU on the market, so there's no limit for you when it comes to 4K resolution, and it's going to run every game at any resolution on any settings. For the price of $3,400, this one is also one of the cheapest RTX 4090 systems that you can get right now. And then if you don't like the white aesthetic, you can get it on black in the gaming prism from Amazon as well. Both links will be in the description, don't worry. And this one has the same specifications, but you get 1TB of extra Gen 4 SSD, you get 2TB total, and the price is $3,650, which is more expensive, but if you don't want a white system, then this one is the best one that you can get. Then if your budget is different and you have even more money to spend, maybe you're a professional content creator, or you just want more storage and more RAM, because in terms of gaming performance, it's not going to get any better than this, you will have those bonus PCs in the description as well with the lower budget systems. And if you need a more personal PC help because you're having issues when deciding which pre-built PC to get, in the top link in the description you will have my website where you can get personal PC help from me, and I will give you the perfect system depending on your needs and your budget, and even if you want a PC build. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.